Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 134, and today we're going to be doing battle in the Gauntlet. And so, as I say at the beginning of all of my Gauntlet videos, I don't get too in-depth with our deck lists here. If you want to scroll back previously through the channel, you should be able to find all of the decks we're playing amongst some different videos, go a little bit more in-depth in the single deck videos. Here in these Gauntlet videos, I like to spend a little bit more time talking about the lineup and what we're trying to do in terms of best of three, and leave those individual decks to other videos. And so, with that out of the way, today we're being a little odd. We're going to follow a strategy that I've grown further and further away from being interested in, but it's something I still think we need to come out here and explore. And that what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be bringing out 3 copies of the Powder Pandemonium deck. We did the Bandle City version of it 2 or 3 videos ago, and then we're just kind of iterating on it to have a couple of other deck lists that can play this strategy. And so this isn't something new. Like, people have most certainly done this before in the past. The most common way we would see this here recently is just playing a bunch of Blighted Ravine decks. And so you might want to play Talia Lysandra, you might want to play Trundlemere, and then you might want to play Aurelian Soul Ramp, Mount Targon Ramp, whatever you call it. They're very similar in what they do. And then you tend to just play and your opponent bans out your Talia Lysandra, and you're hoping to find those matchups to where the Blighted Ravines are excessively good. This tends to be the likes of Boom Baboon, Flame Chomper style matchups. But you do run into some problems there if you don't find the right matchups. Even if you have some exceptionally good matchups, there's a pretty good chance that you just won't play against it. And then there's also the chance that even if you're like a 75 or 80% favorite, you still do lose that matchup on occasion. And so as time has gone on, I have mainly just focused on playing more powerful decks, more powerful lineups, trying to assemble lineups that don't have matchup tables to where decks could just go domed by a certain strategy. But I do concede that this is a strategy and something that we should probably pursue every once in a while. Just put the tip in and see how it feels, And so in terms of the Powder Pandemonium deck, I'll pull it up here in just a moment. But if you're not familiar with the idea of it, it completely domes tokens. It has about a 75% win rate against tokens. That is one of the big 3 of the top 3 decks these days between tokens, Alawi Bard, and Kaisa. And then the Alawi Bard and the other Bard matchups are serviceable. They're not incredibly fantastic, but they are even to slightly positive. And then the various Kaisa matchups, while not great, they're only slightly negative to even. And so if we're looking at this as a fairly decent deck against the top ones of the meta, and then we're looking at it as a way to just kind of target out tokens. But again, we're only like a 75% win rate against tokens, so we do have the opportunity to lose to it. And then, of course, if we just don't play against it, it's not there. The last thing to say about this lineup is it does just get domed by the Blighted Ravine strategies. Talia Lysandra is a must ban, and we don't want to be playing up against our opponent's AoE type strategies like that. It's not so much the Blighted Ravine, the heal is pretty painful for this deck, as much as they can just turn 7 you before you can kill them with Powder Pandemonium. But even playing against things like Trundlemere, where they have Blighted Ravines and Vile Feasts, and sometimes play Withering Whale, sometimes play deal 2 damage, drain, whatever, those heal-based matchups are pretty bad. We're looking to focus in on the mid-range strategies today. And so, to bring up the deck list themselves, we're first going to have Teemo Twisted Fate. This is the exact same list that we played 2 or 3 videos ago. And the thing that you can kind of see with this is it is a very Bilgewater heavy deck. The only Bandle City cards in the deck are the 3 copies of Pokestick, the 2 copies of Teemo. And so that gives you a pretty decent space to branch out into other factions if you're pretty happy with the core, right? And with the core of the cards we have in this deck, I've been pretty happy with them. So we just really have to replace Teemo, really just have to replace Pokestick, and then, of course, Twisted Fate will have to change out as well since we can't play 3 Twisted Fate decks. But it's a very easy set of cards to kind of swap out. You're basically just saying, okay, I want to play things that can just directly deal damage to our opponent's face, right? That's kind of the core of what we're trying to do here. So the second one we're going to bringing is with Misfortune Annie Katarina. Misfortune Annie is another set of cards that are pretty good at just dealing damage directly to our opponent's face. You should be able to attack with Annie. She rarely gets blocked. She can come down on turn 1 and really start to get the plunders going. Misfortune is another fantastic card to help our kind of bad units attack a little better, and then Katarina does double damage in terms of giving us a late game play and then also generating some Blade's Edges. For those remaining cards that we need to fill out, I've included 2 copies of Death's Hand, just as a means to have a little bit of interactivity that can also activate a Plunder. And so ideally, all of the cards that we're just adding into the deck now can activate Plunder, and ideally very cheap, right? Annie can do it for a single point of mana, and then with Misfortune, if we say play her on our opponent's attack token, swing back to our turn, then we have the opportunity to attack, get the love tap going, and then get a Plunder without activating any mana, or spending any mana, I should say. The last version we'll be bringing is Sejuani Gangplank, adding in the Freljord cards here. Both Sejuani and Gangplank play to this plunder-based ideal to where we're very good at just dealing damage to our opponents on every turn of the game. And so it's kind of the natural synergy with the what do you call it? I can't remember, the Powder Pandemonium, if you will. And then we're also adding in the copies of Omen Hawk. Since it doesn't deal the damage directly, we're not super interested in the boost that it gives to our allies, but I am very interested in playing a unit on the first turn that can start to activate plunders immediately. And so we do have the 6 1-mana plays, the Jagged Butchers across all of the decks, the Omen Hawks in this one, so we can ideally start to activate our Gangplanks and Sejuanis on turn 6 and turn 7 due to that early game attack that comes through. And so that's it. That's the lineup. That's what we'll be doing battle with today. Oh man, almost clicked in before we paid the pay-to-win price. I went to see if we'd already paid the thing, and not totally there. We do have to come and level up these warning shots. Oh man, it feels good. It feels good. I think that was the last one. We just have epics and we just have champions that haven't been turned premium yet. And so it's feeling nice. It's feeling good. Definitely paying the pay-to-win price. Let's see if it helps us get these victories today. So, all right, we got the Bandle City Monkey, we got the Freljordian Monkeys, and then we got the Noxus Monkeys. Everything is ready to go. Let's jump on into battle. We're just immediately going to play against a bunch of Talia Lissandras. At least we get the ban here. And interesting, like I don't quite remember what the no champion deck is. I do worry a little bit about facing something like this. It's probably something based on the Harrowing. I'm not entirely certain what they're trying to do. It may be like the War Mother's Call deck, but I don't want to play against this deck that's going to be playing like Vile Feasts and Catalyst of the Aeons and Blighted Ravines. They're going to be playing a shitload of heal in this thing, and I'm pretty confident that they're doing War Mother's Call along with She Who Wanders. And so we'll go ahead and ban out the no champion deck. It does unfortunately leave up the Kaisa, but hopefully we can take the Kaisa down across these matches. And in terms of our starting deck, I think the Teemo version is going to just be a little bit more consistent, and so I'm going to lead off with our Noxus version today. If we have to play one twice, I think we would ideally be doing it with the Noxus version, but I think the thing to kind of think of as well is this one is going to be like a little bit more mid-rangey, I think, since we're playing a few slower things like Misfortune and Death's Hand, to whereas the Teemo version has a little bit more early game interactivity. So, got to get rid of everything here. I'd like to find an early game plunder activator, if you will. I'm okay with just dropping these Jagged Butchers on the first turn, even though we don't get the plunder bonus for our Powder Pandemonium. All right, we'll try to trade here if he offers it up. Right, if he puts the damage on here, we can attack next turn and ideally trade with the drop border. He doesn't go for it. I assume that he's just going to take the free block at this point. An interesting addition with the parlay. Oh shit, he just gives us a plunder? Why are you so interested in the drop border? Interesting. Alright. But I'm curious here, this should be the Time Bomb combo deck. I think we should be okay against it. Like, they're coming out here trying to get the time bombs going and AoE our board. We don't really care about holding onto a board for too long, and so it's not the end of the world to have the time bombs come down and clear, since we have so much direct face damage coming out of this deck. Okay. He's going to have a Mystic Shot or something for Misfortune. That's okay. Again, we're not, like, locked and loaded and trying to do Misfortune things. We're just mainly interested in her doing love taps and stuff. And this does give us a pretty strong attack this turn now as well. Right, he can put drop border in front of Misfortune, don't care. Now we're going to be opened up to killing Zilean with parlays, and we're getting to chunk in a few damage. Feels good. Not going to parlay this turn. We'll stay mana efficient with these Yordle Grifters, but next turn we'll be looking to parlay.
Yeah, you don't want to cross me.
What we catch here, the Piltover Tellstones. Not bad. Like, I don't think we'll be using it, but it does have the deal 3 to a unit, and then, of course, Progress Day as the big possible addition. Okay. More Zillions, you got it.
The way is always the same.
Okay, so let's see if he's able to start chaining these off. Do we have the means to like try and take this Zillion down? I don't think we're gonna get that far. I think the question is, do we want to get this black market merchant going? I think it's probably safe. I guess we got all dudes counterfeit copies. So we should be safe. Like, he hasn't blown up a time bomb yet, so he can't play the manifest card. So he can play like a single time bomb. Ooh, he doesn't even have the mana for time bomb now. Excellent.
And it's not perfect, but look.
If your prediction is correct, we have much to look forward to.
Let's take the big open attack. We lose out on the Blade's Edge this way, but we're going to lose the 1 unit to the time bomb. Then we have a good attack. Hopefully we can close some things down in the middle of combat here. Not going to play Annie. I don't want to give him the chance to add more time bombs to the board. Goes Hourglass. Okay, nothing we can do about that.
A moment in time preserved.
Okay, now I'm leaning towards, like, I want to get the Grifter down.
Safety will cost.
We either got a Pokey Stick. No, not the Pokey Stick. I thought we were playing the Bandle City version. We got a Noxus card on top of our deck, so it'll either be Death's Hand or Annie. We're only down to 2 in this list. But we need to get to the point to where we can burn them out. The Pandemonium would be ideal, since we could go to face for about 6, but gotta have something turn up. Currently have 2 points of burn, maybe something with the Tellstones, 3 with the Death's Hand. Interesting.
The future isn't what it used to be.
Where you at, Progress Day? Warning Shot, Monkey Business, Taskmaster. Okay. Not the worst collection of cards.
The strong don't want mercy.
I assume we're going to get hit by some amount of like time bombs this turn. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to try and hopefully punch in a point of damage. Not expecting to be able to. Well, he's down to 3 mana at this point. We might be able to get something rolling. Okay. So what do we got? He picks up Elusive Thing, Time Bomb, Time Trick. I don't think we're gonna have the opportunity to play Annie's. It's too bad if he gets to play the Time Bomb and then not predict it down. Whatever the things are that reduce the countdown. Countdown. There we go. So coming in for 0, a little unfortunate. But we get the Zillion off the board. It's kind of nice. If he wants to do something like Chrono Shift, that's Zillion's flip. It's going to cost 7, so he can't do it. He's already played the one Ancient Hourglass, so hopefully that nonsense is just over with. Oh. Okie dokie. Guess he's hit all 3 Zillions this game.
All paths lead me here.
But I think we're still okay. Like, he needs some time to get these Zillions going. Well, I guess the thing that's worrisome now is if something like Rite of Negation, right? We really want to play Powder Pandemonium, but if he has the Rite of Negation to counterspell it, it's going to be a bit awkward.
Stays the same.
All right. Well, we might get to use the Annie here. If she's gonna flip into Disintegrate, so we do have the potential to disintegrate his Zillion. Gonna take a bit of work though.
Come out, wherever you are.
Maybe. Like that's probably a Rite of Negation. Sure. So it's not ideal. Of course, we would prefer to just have our opponent be dead, but or prefer the Zillion to be dead. But getting the Rite of Negation can be important. There's the Powder Pandemonium. Oh, we've only got 3 plunders up to this point? Oh, fucking A. Okay. All right. Well, here's the big usage for the counterfeit copies. Is there a reason to play it this turn? Probably not. Well, I don't know. We already attacked. It's probably not ideal. We can still play 2 next turn, or maybe if we hit like a warning shot or something, we can still monkey business.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
All right. Well, he still needs a lot more time bombs to actually get a kill.
Bow to the god of cloning.
Very fun and interactive matchup. Let's see. Let's see how much longer this takes. All right, another time bomb. Good job. I'm leaning towards just going ahead and playing this. Like, I want to be able to open with an additional Powder Pandemonium next turn. And one of the things this can pull off is if he... Now that I think about this more, we probably should have just played this earlier. If we'd gotten the... He's gonna do it for us to go ahead and kill off our monkeys, but would have potentially given us the opportunity to get this monkey business on board. We're just gonna be dead anyways. He's got too much damage coming in. Okay. See if he messes up. Oh, we already attacked. Okay. He is just gonna get Mystic Shot in his hand, right? Nope. We didn't draw what we needed anyways. Okay. Whew. Such a dumb match. At least at least the bonus to losing is we don't have to play against that shit again. All right, moving on. I think there is like a degree to a world where combo decks should exist, but if you like look towards Magic and like the closer the deck gets to being a deck like Eggs, to where you just don't actually interact with your opponent, the like least fun that it actually is. Like Eggs was a problem in Magic as well because they could like combo off for 15 minutes and still just fucking fail, and so it was a deck that needed to go. But the Zillion deck's not entirely there. It's just a lot of no fun to just sit around and not do anything. All right, but opponent has no 1-drop. We have a Make It Rain if they have one of these heavy 1 health unit kind of starts. We'll see how this lines up. We might be able to pull off some nice things here with Misfortune and the Make It Rains. I kind of feel like once we add Misfortune, he's probably just going to play Waking Sands. But I'm gonna say if he plays another small boy here and we get to Make It Rain, it's got to be a pretty decent start. I'm going to play the Misfortune version here. If we lose our Misfortune, I'm kind of interested in being able to play another one. But if like all of our Misfortunes go away, I think I do want physical access to an actual Make It Rain. Interesting, he doesn't play the Waking Sands. Sure. Makes sense. I got another one ready to party. And a bird. Okay, let's just keep passing. If he sends it back to us and we 3-bank, that's fine. Otherwise, this Make It Rain is going to be pretty good this turn. I could definitely see him going ahead and attacking with both, and then Make It Rain just getting the huge shutdown for this turn. Oh, just sharp sighting right from the get-go. Interesting. Still going to do it. Do we want to? Let's just wait.
Fortune favors the bold.
Got a second Misfortune. His, can't quite see his evolve count. Where's it at, Kaisa? Can't see it over here either. There should be like 1, 2, 3. Should be at like 4 or so. It's okay. Even if he follows up with Kaisa here, it's not the end of the world. Does give him the opportunity to say like play Kaisa here, and then on the next turn, open up to give her scout, but I don't think it's worth worrying about. Okay. Rip Misfortune. You fought valiantly, but we're close to the lethal. We've got 3 damage in hand, and opponent is at 5. Just need to do a little bit more work.
I can almost taste it. The void.
Should have maybe gone ahead and played the Death's Hand, just as a means to, like if he has a supercharge, right? She's going to have the spell shield now, and we don't have a target for it. But
I know what they are. I know how to destroy them.
we'll see if we can't finish another way.
Can't hide from the light.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers. Can we risk dropping a Taskmaster? It does boost both of our units. We're just so close to lethal if we don't. I guess the big problem would be if he has a Cataclysm. I'm not entirely certain if Action Kaisa loads up on Cataclysms or not. Right, that would just be an actual disaster. But if he doesn't have Cataclysm, this gets us a lot closer to winning the game. Because Annie's only dealing 2 damage here. Alright, let's risk it for the biscuit. Okay. Smells like burning. Got him. Okay. All right. Game 3, the decider. It's coming on up. Get to play the OG version. The Teemo's coming at you. Everybody loves a good Teemo. And so, let's see what he can do today. Need more bad starts like that from our opponent, though. This is a slightly bad matchup. They were a little slow in popping off there. Okay, so we can get rid of the black market merchant. Otherwise, I'm usually kind of okay with these warning shot starts, but maybe we need to get rid of it and just look for a cheaper play. I do like starting with the Make It Rain. It has a lot of potential to be strong here. They can just kind of get you a little bit if they start to hit like tough on their 1-drops.
I don't need rules to know good from bad. This is justice.
Okay, action's not too scary at this point. Well, we got Teemo. Teemo's ready to party. All right, he's played this out so that he can drop a sharp sight on us. I want to see how he ends up dealing with his manas here. Let's drop the Jagged Taskmaster. It's going to give him an opportunity to do something he doesn't. Going to go for the parlay now. This should draw out the sharp sight. We're still safe to attack after this, but ooh, he doesn't have it. Okay, nice. No way, he just takes that damage. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna hook Teemo and really care about it? Probably not. All right, though. All right. And the thing with that play is his unit never got Challenger, right? He has the 1 tick up from Action's Quick Attack. He has the 1 tick up from Formidable. Now he has the 1 tick up from Merciless Hunter. But Kaisa has Quick Attack, so he's kind of overloaded on that. And then also,
Yeah, you don't want to cry.
they're we drew a Puff Cap. He's like really limited in hitting his evolves now. And then we're not a Teemo deck, so don't worry about losing your Teemos like this. This is actually a pretty decent trade for us now that we get to just drop the Yordle Grifter. Uh-oh. Open plunders. How much do we care if he like drops a Kaisa? I don't think it's that bad. So let's do this. Let's play monkey business. We'll get the unit on board we don't care about losing, and then we can like bright steal the Grifter if we need to. I don't think we're going for Black Market Merchant this turn, but it should be tough for him to get good blocks. Yep, Kaisa's fine. Her evolve is only up to 3. Can protect our good unit, and then if she wants to block, we can try and take her down with double up, or more likely with Riptide Sermon. It's a little bit safer. Cool. What up, bird? So he can pop off if he has supercharge, right? The spell shield would be the annoying way for him to get strong. But outside of that, I think we're fine. Fuck.
Gotta hit them hard.
She's gonna flip. Just fucks everything.
I know what they are. I know.
Okay.
Come on! Can't hide from the light.
So how do we go about this? The next attack from Kaisa will just kill us. Fuck. Alright, well, we can try. We can try and take the bird down. And see where that gets us. I don't think it's going to be enough. Right, yeah, she's got 3 skills on her. We're just dead. Well, that was fun. Everyone loves Spell Shield. What are you doing? Are you just being cute? Oh, he can draw actions. Okay. Alright, GG. Man. Ugh, Spell Shield is such a dumb ability. I gotta take that back. I think it has a place. It just doesn't have a place on cheap cards, right? I think it's a lot of no fun if you play your 9-cost Evoke Celestial unit and your opponent just like domes it with a flash freeze or something. Like that doesn't feel good when you make that giant investment. And I think that's a fairly safe place to start putting cards like Spell Shield. Having cards like Kaisa easily like accomplish Spell Shield, and having the 2-cost unit with Spell Shield, it opens up this world where decks like Boggles could exist, right? Boggles is one of the most mind-numbingly, frustratingly stupid decks to ever exist in Magic. You're playing a bunch of units that have permanent Spell Shield, and then you just end up loading them up with a bunch of enchantments, and it's one of the least interactive decks ever made. And somebody likes it, I guess, but I think it doesn't lead to a lot of fun situations. Whenever you find yourself in a spot like this to where you go, oh boy, I can't interact with what you're doing, then it takes away a lot of the fun play patterns of the game. Anywho, I'm not particularly interested in playing against Lurkers. We do not line up to what Lurkers does well. We can't block their cheaper plays, and if they're getting through unblocked, you have a real problem. And so I'm fine with dealing with the mid-ranginess of a Viego. I don't think this should have too much heal in it, especially seeing Bard. Like, you have to give up on cards somewhere. And if you're going to play Bard and Bird and Esmuth to go along with these things, then you're probably not playing a bunch of Vile Feasts and a bunch of Drains. So I think that's okay. Not really sure what this Bandle City Alawi is, but I don't think we actually care. So we'll just ban out the Pike, and then we'll bring in the Sejuani version. The Sejuani version should actually be moderately okay against Viego, but it's again the one that I would like to do battle with twice if we have to. All right, that is an expensive hand. Let's hang on to the Taskmaster. If we have like one early interactive card, then he'll work out nicely. Make It Rain gets the job done there. Let's get to it. All right, big 6-mana plays next turn. Play a bird or something, dude. Can you play a 1-drop for us? All right, that's a pretty weak Tristana. Let's be real. And a plunder. Looking good. Now we'll be strong to open next turn. Not super worried about this Tristana block. I can't imagine she wants to block any of this. Looks good. Send him to the drink. Want to block? You want to put Tristana in front of something? No, I don't blame you. Do we want to drop the Black Market Merchant? Like, I'm not opposed to trying to double up this Tristana next turn. They shouldn't have any combat tricks to protect her. Let's see. Ooh, Naga Kaboros. I dig it. We can drop the Naga Kaboros if it comes down to it. Another Taskmaster. Okay. We don't have any more monkey generators, but it might get something going. Uh-oh. He had a card. So we're looking to put the Taskmaster on front of Alawi. We'll then make it rain, and then see if we can't take her down with double up a little bit later. Okay. Did not expect Primal Strength. Alright, we hit the Alawi, but we missed face, which is a little awkward. Okay.
I'm not greedy. My friends, though.
Teeny Dactyl. We can do Teeny Dactyl here. You're gonna get some work done. Let's see. I don't think there's a reason to just come down and drop the Taskmaster. Let's go ahead and make this attack. He's not gonna want to give up these units. So there's a decent chance we get in a reasonable amount of damage. Okay. Here's a double up target now. All right. Gonna get that burst kill. What up, Poppy? So much premium. This dude knows what life's about. Rip him. All right, that was interactive. Everyone enjoys that. It's nice. It's nice when you get to play your cards on your opponent's cards, you know? It's kind of what things are about. We aren't out here playing chess alone on Friday nights, and so getting to play our cards on our opponent's cards, not that bad. Okay, he switches to Viego. I'll hang on to this one drop. Not opposed to getting the turn one attack in. See how things play out. Yeah. This hand kind of sucks.
I'll burn for what I've done.
All right. More birds. He's going to have something big in hand. We're not going to be able to attack around his stuff for long. Like, it's pretty reasonable to expect that next turn is the last attack we're going to get in this game. So do it, Jagged Butcher. You got to make your 3 damage count. Okay. So much for them not having room for drains. Interesting. What do you got? Oh my god, are you serious? What are we up against? No, man. There's not gonna be room for drains here today. He's playing Bard. Oh my god. This is just gonna be unwinnable. Okay, I guess that's a thing. I'm gonna take the unit. I mean, there's a chance we can attack with the unit and deal damage. Oh my god. All right. Well, at least at this point, the scourge is only gonna heal 3. Well, I guess that'll happen. How do we go about this? I want to get this dum-dum off of the board. I think the Make It Rain is okay. Hits 2 targets. Get to bank up 3. And then next turn we can try to double up Darkwater Scourge. Okay. You know, he's got a Grasp of the Undying in hand, and then just 1 more card. Sure. Oh, he takes it. Wow. Interesting. So we might be getting close to the lethal here. And he's still got... He has Grasp of the Undying in hand, right? See what we can do. Definitely don't want him getting drains. Looking at this as a way to pull off a parlay. Ooh. Can the Powder Pandemonium do it this turn? We should probably wait around on the Powder Pandemonium. We could have looked to just send Parlay to face, play the Black Market Merchant, and then get 3 Powder Monkeys. Which, I mean, realistically might have been enough. But it feels a little bit safer going for... Okay. Feels a little bit safer going for that a little bit further down the road and getting his Drain machine off of the board. Yep. Oh, we hit 2 chimes, but we don't get to use them. That's stupid. Okay. It's a pretty perfect draw on the Taskmaster. Now, I don't think Spirit Journey works with the Taskmaster. We're gonna find out. I don't really care about being wrong. We're not going to get any combos with this. It could be used as a defensive spell to, like, deal a point of damage with the Powder Monkey, get a Viper Worm off the board or something, but let's see if this gives plus attack. Our rules tip of the day. It did not do anything. Would have been sweet if it did, though. And Esmith. Oh, let's do it this way. I think we just lethal here. Not directly off of this attack, right? He gets to block with Esmith. But we'll follow up with a point of damage from the Yordle Grifter. Oh, it's just lethal. All right. Feel like we had no business whatsoever winning that game, but sometimes you can still pull them down. That's like the mantra for this deck, though, right? I mean, it's good against tokens and stuff, but it can still beat you. On the flip side of that, play it against the massive drain deck and still pulling off a victory Feels pretty good. All right, GG. On to the next one. Okay, this is more along the lines of what I would expect to see. I'm just going to get rid of Annie Jen. Again, we don't really function super well against these aggro decks. We don't have enough early plays, enough early blockers. The Bard Alawi is one of our slightly positive matchups, and so I don't want to ban it if we don't have to. And then Shen Jarvan, I don't think is going to be horrible. My worry here is that they probably play the barrier lifesteal kind of card, and like a 6 heal is just gonna nuke us. But I think we can manage that a little better than this Annie Jen. Okay. Nobody knows we're playing the Powder Pandemonium. It's like it's not apparent that the lineup is what we're doing. All right, reasonable enough start. The kind of interesting thing with it is, when do we want to start trying to like deploy this Jagged Butcher? I don't think we want to play it on turn 1, but then if we don't play it on turn 1, when are we ever going to play it? And so, does he ever just block? Like, I want to get the Plunder on both cards, right? On the Butcher and the Taskmaster. Maybe he doesn't block with the Tentacle. That'd be real sweet if he let this happen. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not surprised that he's bringing in a block here.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime.
But we can still get Misfortune down. I mean, maybe we'll flip Annie this game. I don't know, man. We're doing a bunch with the skills. We definitely have the skills that pay the bills. So you're just going to get aced. Okay, we can... it's like, do we want to spend a Disintegrate this turn? He shouldn't be that strong at interacting with us. I think we can wait. Oh, he does it that way. That's fine. I thought that he was going to take the value out of the hired gun.
Looking for trouble?
Interesting. Smells like burning.
Make it worth my while.
Well, all right. What are you at, Annie? 3? Are we getting Tibbers this game?
We move against fear, against doubt.
Seems like it's going okay. Like, it's nice that we've built up board a little bit, but on the flip side, it's a little upsetting that he's only at 18. Got him to 14 now. Only 2 plunders, though.
Can't win 'em all, eh?
I don't really want to powder Pandemonium for 2. That's not the strongest, but I mean, do we have to at this point? It should be enough to kill both his Alawi and his Tentacle. Okay.
Like a fish in water.
You might be trying to drop an Eye of Nagakaboros on us here. I think it would be okay even if that's what turns up. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we can still kill Alawi out of this, but it's like as the games progress against Bard, their deck just gets stronger and stronger, and ours does not. We are not a... Ah, shit. Okay, this one's done. We lose out on the Make It Rain because Misfortune. I mean, maybe we'll still give it a shot, but
Not that good.
that was kind of brutal. Yep.
What can stand against her strength?
And we're gonna be too slow to pull off a swindle, which is this like 5, 9. We're dead. Okay. GG. That was awkward. I mean, pulling off a Powder Pandemonium for 2. I mean, we got the plunder off of every card we played. We just didn't have them turn up in the density we needed. Okay. On to Shen. Alright, reasonable collection of friends. We might be able to open with Annie next turn and then plunder into the Jagged Taskmaster. We'll see. They don't always want to be interacting with Annie that early. Plays a Challenger Bird. We could think about trying to parlay, but doesn't seem necessary.
Who would trespass here?
Alright, get us those plunders, Annie. Do your thing. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Stand, breathe, see.
This Jagged Taskmaster feels like a mistake. I don't really like the idea of this Kanaku student sitting out, being able to pick up barriers, but maybe he'll have to tap out again.
My shield is yours.
Nature blesses her followers.
Okay.
Burn and wisp. Steady my hand.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
What do we got? Saiyan Thousand-Tailed. Interesting. Don't think we're going to use it. I'm really looking to just open attack here.
This way.
I'll cut him off myself.
Or not going to use Misfortune. Probably doesn't want to block here. I mean, if he has a barrier, he has a barrier. I guess that's a way to get 2 for 1. Like, this is feeling worse and worse and worse, isn't it? We should have just hit the Kanaku student with the... Oh. Should have just hit it with the parlay. Interesting. It's like he had a card, though, and then pulled it back.
The sea beasts of
Very surprised.
Two worlds, one balance.
I mean, we might as well just make it rain. Well, let's see who he boosts. We can break these barriers in the middle of combat. Of course, we're not going to see who this hits, but I think it's okay.
you'll scream.
Well, we hit his units in combat. Ideally, we would have killed the bird, I think, but we're probably not allowed to complain about how this falls, right? Getting a little bit of damage onto Shen isn't terrible. Sure.
What form will the waters take? Waters are
All right, he's pretty low on cards now. He's only got 3. I think we've managed his board pretty well. I don't suspect we're going to get a big double up onto Shen. But let's see. I'm going to lead with Annie here. Regardless of what we do, whether or not it's double up or powder pandemonium, we're going to want to play Annie. And then the thing to worry about is him having deny, right? If he's able to play denies on us, that's going to be pretty painful. So let's just play Misfortune, try and follow up with the Black Market Merchant. With him leaning out with 6 mana here, it's like I would think that his play is going to be like the barrier swap thing. Like, none of that sounds particularly good. Now with him only having 1 mana, just getting domed. Okay, I'm on board. Okay, Annie does so much damage with these Taskmasters hitting. She gets the 2 from her ability and then 2 from her actual attack. I appreciate it, girl. You're really out here slamming.
Enforced equilibrium. It must be done. Enforced equilibrium.
You a looker. This to your bed.
Okay. That felt good. Get that double up hit in. Now, I think we should just be good to open. Well, we've picked up some good stuff now.
I'm not greedy. My friends, though.
We'll just go for the burst kill. Can't respond to that. Talk about that interactivity that we all love. And just come down and get them burst kills. Feels good. All right, round 2 against Shen. This time with the Teemo. So man, I've been looking for spaces in the video just to start talking about stuff. I watched one of the greatest movies of all time last night in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I love it so much. It's like I have like 3 all-time favorite comedies. They kind of rotate around towards whichever one is my favorite. But there's the 40-Year-Old Virgin. There is Step Brothers, and then the other one would be Anchorman. And I recently watched Anchorman. It's pretty good. But last night was the 40-Year-Old Virgin. When I was in my early 20s, one of my best friends growing up was far and away completely the actual character between his love life and his happenings in terms of getting laid and just anything and everything just directly tied to him. He sat around and painted the little figurines. He had it all. And so it's always pretty reminiscent when we get to come in and watch that one.
I've got your back.
All right, looks like we're about to lose a Teemo here. That's okay. This is still a pretty good round for us. I'm going to go ahead and make it rain in case he tries to do weird stuff, but the Teemo hit from Fleet Feather Tracker is not a big deal.
My duty's done. The weak don't deserve mercy.
All right, reasonable open this turn. That'll activate the double plunder from the Black Market Merchants.
Send them to the drink.
I dig it.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
Treasures of the ages for a price.
Golden Aegis for all those sweet attacks.
My selection speaks for
And a
itself.
deny. Okay. Always glad to take the deny out of their deck. It's one of the things that messes with our Powder Pandemoniums, our Riptide Serpents. I don't want that stuff happening. Unfortunately, don't have a great line after this, though. What happens if we just pass? Is that really so bad? I don't think it is. But I'd really like it if we could deal a damage this turn. Let's see where this path takes us. All right, so hitting the plunder is not so important anymore. Maybe we'll still get to do it. We'll try.
Never lose control.
Credit denied.
Nope. Okay, so he's down to 3 cards with this one dum-dum on board. Doesn't feel terrible. Alright, there's a non-zero chance he just gets out of this, right? You can even put barriers on the units in your hand to give it a barrier here. I just want to make sure we hit a plunder this round. Well, we need to get this monkey business down and going. It's very odd to see him just, like, physically play Jarvan. Just curious if he has, like, multiple Jarvans in his hand, or what was going wrong. What went so wrong that got him onto the board.
Never lost a fair.
Okay, I don't care about any of these units. I'm just gonna go full in Powder Pandemonium now. Oh yeah, we red carded. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, well, how can't we get our dudes on board? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for clearing them out. This has to have another Jarvan in hand. We're fine. We have the Powder Pandemonium with the deny backup. All of our monkeys are going to have the +2 attack. This game's done. Laser beam. Oh man, I wanted to deny his play. All right, the boat's not going to do it. GG. All right, nice recovery. Nice recovery. I was a little worried after losing to Bard, and I wasn't sure how that Shen matchup was going to go, but it felt a little bit better once we actually got in the mix there. All right, on to the next one. All right, next battle. Okay, so I don't think I particularly care about too many of these. The Heimerdinger Jace does have like some potential to cause problems. I know they play the Vile Feasts and stuff, but this is also the deck that we should have the most time against. And so I think it's okay. We do kind of like count on hitting Powder Pandemoniums to win this matchup though. But I think we'll definitely just leave up Poppy Taric. That should be pretty similar to that Shen matchup from the previous round. And then down here with the discard Mecha Yordle thing, I think it's okay. It's probably like the most aggressive of the three, but it's not really aggressive like Annie Gen. But this is the one where I feel like they're going to drop like 1-drops and potentially give us some issues. I want to play against these more mid-rangey decks here. It's like Rumble Might is a very easy way to beat us. Everybody banning Sejuani Gangplank today. But yeah, I was trying to think within the 40-Year-Old Virgin and my big three. If there was anyone across the 3 movies that made it the whole way, I didn't look it up, but it's like you have Steve Carell and Anchorman in 40-Year-Old Virgin. You have Paul Rudd in the 2. David Koechner actually made his way in both of those 2 movies as well. Will Ferrell, of course, in Stepbrothers, and he makes his way in Anchorman, but I couldn't really place anyone that made their way to all three. It's kind of like I don't know who did Stepbrothers, who directed it and everything. It's like when you're coming from Anchorman, that's kind of like the Adam McKay, Will Ferrell group of people, and then when you're coming from the 40-Year-Old Virgin, that's like the Judd Apatow camp, and so it's like you see a lot of the same people intermingled between the two, but it doesn't feel like Stepbrothers really had that. It had, a large collection of famous people, if you will, but it didn't really hit in the same way. All right, I don't think we have to just go for value here. Of course, would love to get the Taskmaster and the Butcher down at the same time, but I'm going to Taskmaster here. We'll see if we can't get a decent Make It Rain a turn or two from now, and then use the Make It Rain to also activate the Butcher. Okay, interesting. I would assume he has some kind of way to boost this Broadwing if he's not just taking a trade. There it is. Let's see if he passes. It's still good for us if he does. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Sharp Sight come down. Ranger's Resolve. Ooh, that's a gross one. Just counterspells everything we're doing. I thought it was like, even if he has the Sharp Sight to save the bird, then we still have good attacks the next turn with both Annie and the Butcher. But Ranger's Resolve was really powerful there.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
All right, still punching.
This way.
You had to double check if Swindle was burst. If we're gonna need to like warning shot Swindle to try to pick up a Sharp Sight. Oh, if that's the world we live in, okay. But I did need to double check on this. This is the downside as well, not doing it preemptively, and then the potential being there to, he's not having a Sharp Sight in his hand anymore. This is probably the point we should have done it. I mean, we're not doing anything else this turn, but I'm kind of okay taking the full bank and then maybe getting a double up play this turn. Yeah, I don't like how we've played this. This is like we're not going to get the thing this way, but like having the knowledge of his tricks would have been nice. If we needed, it's like we're wasting this Swindle. This has been played poorly.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
All right. I guess all that has happened. We are not we're not dealing damage to face this turn without a warning shot. Gotcha. No need to block here. We don't get the kill on his tough unit. Okay, maybe. This is going to be like combat trick number 6. Finally. Guess that shit's over with. Alright, let's just finally play it. Relentless Pursuit and Pale Cascade. Okay. So he does not have a particularly strong hand. we did the mathematics on that one. All right, well, we should be in a pretty decent spot. It's like, I always see these games winding down and getting to the late game, and it's like, cool, we're playing a deck with Warning Shot in it, right? It's just an actual do-nothing card a lot of the time. But it's put in the work here. So we'll get the monkey. We'll Relentless Pursuit the butcher. So ideally, I mean, I guess he can play a Relentless Pursuit if he wants, but his units should be small enough to not have to worry too much. Right, I mean, I guess he can Relentless Pursuit this Esmuth, the 1/3 to trade with our 5/2, but it doesn't seem like it should feel like a good turn. He's got Relentless Pursuit and one other card in hand.
Wouldn't be a quest.
What up, puppy?
You sit.
Interesting. Seems like you would rather trade. All right, we just lethal next turn. We're getting a powder monkey back, so we'll be coming in for 8 on the open. I guess they can draw that like heal 2 card, but this should just be done. All right, market for the monkeys. That did not feel like a good game. I'm glad we were able to take that down, but that felt pretty painful. He switches. He says, "I see what tricks you're up to." All right, get rid of all of this. Need some early interactivity. Make It Rains are surprisingly good against the stack. In terms of the turrets, it depends on if they hit their tech thing, right? The guy that gives all of your techs +1/+1. Until they play that, you're able to kill tons of stuff with the Make It Rain. But all right, we continue to play slow. Let's get our big boys on board. So the thing that would be bad with this turn would be Shock Blast. I don't feel great about, say, dropping the Taskmaster, him passing with 6 mana, us playing the Jagged Butcher, and then him being like, LOL, here is the here's the thing. But I'm surprised to see him, surprised to see him drop the Handler. That's fairly greedy. Okay. So it's like he can't activate the 6th cost thing next turn, right? He just spent all of his mana. Very strange.
I fight for a brighter tomorrow.
Just get that dum-dum out of here. And the next turn, I'm like, at least with the cards that we have in, excuse me, with the cards that we have in hand, we can look to drop Teemo and then gold card. He's probably going to add a unit at some point, so it may not actually pan out, but that's the way I'm kind of looking at this, is we may get to just chunk in a reasonable piece of damage.
Deal me in.
Okay, now this makes the Make It Rains look pretty good as well. The 2 damage onto Jace and a double Make It Rain next turn. Curious if he's like sitting on Withering Wail or something. This deck doesn't usually play shit like that. Seems like he's just done a really awkward usage of his mana. Like that 3 mana Thermogenic Beam seemed really strange, since it just basically canceled his ability to play any of his 6th cost themes. Rocket Barrage. Wow. Okay.
All or nothing.
Can't say I was expecting to see one of those today.
Let's get started.
Yeah, you don't want to cross me.
What you got? Pick up a Time Trick? I'm looking to just like Twisted Fate away one of these warning shots. We're getting fairly close to lethal. We're not going to flip this Twisted Fate.
Ah, the sweet smell of science.
Sure beats the smell of burning workshops.
Okay. Oof. Oh, it's only for 2? Can we hit any plunders? We can. We can get this up to 3. Let's see. We drew the Swindle as well, so we could technically get our Pandemonium up to 4. Oh, that's Shock Blast. Oh, that's choice. That's choice. He does get the good things like the Floor Be Gone, but does this cost? Ooh. Let's swindle. Maybe we can swindle that. We missed it, but I was gonna say maybe we could swindle the turret. He has a Mystic Shot in hand, worth noting as well. That's the one that we're gonna take. We're pretty close to trying to just lethal him. Right, we sort of got 4 damage of burn in hand. He's gonna come in and Mystic Shot our Twisted Fate. That's fine. I think we just lethal. I'm pretty sure we've won this game. That looks pretty good, right? Mystic Shot's not enough for this. I guess he can drop turret and then Mystic Shot in the middle of combat. Ooh, Production Surge gives 2 units?
Looks like trouble.
Alright. Got him. Go ahead and mark that a W for bust. It's a GG. Make our way to that final battle. I knew that the monkeys could do it. they had him in it. They had it in them this whole way. All right, final battle. Say, I hope your name's not Dan. Dan rhymes with man. Men are assholes. Dan is an asshole. Oh, there's so much in that. You know what life's about? Pussy juice cocktails and the butthole pleasures. Just so much within that movie that's fantastic. I love every minute of it. I think, you know how I know you're gay still holds up. I think that's okay. I don't feel like that's been canceled. I think we're still allowed to use that whole scene about how you like Coldplay and how you macrameed yourself a pair of jean shorts, how you have a rainbow bumper sticker that says "I love balls" on my face. That stuff, I think it still stands. But all right, on to this battle. The Annie Twisted Fate matchup is fantastic for all of our decks. We're never banning it. Again, the Bard Alawi matchup is okay. The Kaisa matchups are a little bit weaker. I don't know what the deal with Kaisa Shen is. I haven't seen that one running around, but that's going to be our ban. And I think he's aware that the Twisted Fate deck is quite good against Annie. I don't think he's going to be aware that that we're bringing the triples. We got the 3-piece nugget of the Powder Pandemoniums coming in. And so I'm not sure, how people feel about these things. I don't follow enough of the high level best of 3 players in terms of what to play first. A lot of the times we will just play our worst matchup first, and in that sense, I would, if I was in his shoes, I would want to be leading with Annie Twisted Fate, right? Because I want to take 2 chances to win with the bad deck. But again, I'm not entirely certain how people feel about that, and if he would just lead off with something else in those cases, but. Where that was kind of going is I would like to play our Sejuani deck up against Alawi if we can, right? Some of the ideas like the big Sejuani Frostbites can be okay there, but we'll see. So we didn't play the Butcher on the first turn, so we missed out on that 1 damage chip shot, but I feel like we're going to be able to get these hits in the remainder of the way. So we don't currently have a spell for next turn, but we are getting reasonably close to leveling up our Gangplank. I mean, maybe we should have opened with the Butcher, but without having the like all the means in hand, it doesn't feel spectacular. Okay. He gets the trade onto our Jagged Taskmaster, that's fine. Oh, is he just gonna have another Make It Rain? Blade's Edge. Okay. I was gonna say if he has like the Ravenous Flock for our Jagged Butcher, it kinda sucks, but we're getting some reasonable damage in. And the parlay. Remember, you can do this. We're just going to parlay directly to face. You don't have to have a unit on board. And if you need to be like guaranteed, say we're up playing against Demacia or something and they have a bunch of combat tricks and you're worried about the parlay landing, you can just send it right to face. You don't have to have a unit on board. Okay, let's get ourselves some more damages in. He did just drop a no-value Fortune Croaker. Probably just running out of stuff to do. What you got, my dude? Twisted Fate? Okay. Takes away a lot of his answers to Powder Pandemonium. We still get our damage in this round. Looks pretty good. Unfortunately, can't really pop off this round. This is slightly awkward. It's like we can get the Twisted Fate to flip in the middle of combat next turn, but we won't have like the big attack from him. I think all we look to do here is keep his Steve on board. It's going to minimize his way to get the AoEs and then just drop Powder Pandemonium. I mean, I guess as it stands, we can just play Powder Pandemonium and Gangplank, and then. But we can play the Powder Pandemonium first, and then if he has some way... You're not going to flip now. Oh, he can still flip. I'm going to say if he has a Make It Rain or something before we attack, then that will actually flip our Gangplank, and we can get him in for extra damage. See if he has a Disintegrate play or something. Does not. Mark it a W for Gangplank. I'm glad he came down. It seems like everyone banned Sejuani Gangplank. So seeing him fall off the board and then rise to victory right at the end, pretty good. And then we'll see if opponent has gotten wise to what's happening now, as they saw the Powder Pandemonium coming out of the Sejuani Gangplank. If he's going to realize we're not playing the Annie-based burn deck here. Okay, so let's just hang on to the Butcher. I'd like to have like a little bit more early game against this deck if we can. We can swing this back around to our turn 2. Maybe Death's Hand something, or if he plays a House Spider here, we might find ourselves able to parlay. Alright, we have to play something though. 1 damage. Feels good. I love spending an entire card to deal a point of damage. But we're powering through a lot of plunders here. We get 4 plunders this turn. We don't have a Jagged Taskmaster this game, so we do miss out on a lot of damage from the Powder Pandemonium. But it's going to be primed and ready. It's definitely not going to be a little small ball two-piece nugget off the Pandemonium.
Something the matter?
Okay. So what do we got? Riptide Rex. We can actually make usage of Riptide Rex. I just don't think the game is going to go this late. And so that would lead us to either Death's Hand or the Arachnoid Sentry. I like the Sentry in that we already have 1 Death's Hand, and then it gives us just another unit to put on board. I mean, maybe the Riptide Rex is the way to go since it's so easy to pop off with our deck, but I just don't feel like we're going to be going to turn 8.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime. Tibbers.
Okay. All right, so how bad is it if he has Twisted Fate, right? That's our new question. We can Powder Pandemonium for a ton. I don't think I'm quite ready to just go for it. Because you can find yourself in this spot to where you just put 6 monkeys on the board and then they just deal 6 damage to face. And so let's give it a minute before we try and take that route. See if we can't get him just down in health. Takes him to 8.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
Sounds good. So the kind of flip side to the problem here is we have just given him a lot of opportunities to try and pick up Twisted Fate, but it doesn't matter now. We found the second Pandemonium. So we'll throw away the Butcher. We'll play this Powder Pandemonium. It's going to put 5 monkeys on board. They'll all die with their last breath, and then we can go into the next turn and do the same thing. Should be sending 10 to face. Definitely appropriate time to emote. All right, lots of booms. Here we go. Got him. GG's. And so yeah, interesting set of games again. I think a lot of my distaste for playing this type of strategy got to pop up along the way, in that we're actively trying to target tokens. You could say we're trying to target Anti-Twisted Fate as well, but Anti-Twisted Fate's only like the top 4, maybe it's in 4th or 5th place in terms of most common decks in the meta. But I mean, the problem with this is, again, we were trying to snipe off tokens. Tokens just didn't show up, and so it's just I think even if you move into the space, is well, we are playing Gauntlet. There's a lot of casuals, if you will, running through the Gauntlet. That's, I'm not really expecting to go to an event like Seasonals or a weekend tournament or something and play against the Neverglade Collector Drain deck, right? It's not. There's nothing wrong with playing it and taking it to the Gauntlet or whatever. But as we play in higher and higher level competitive events, I don't really expect those kind of things to show up. But where this kind of train of thought is going is you do expect to run into more decks like tokens there, right? You're just more on meta, well-conceived lineups, and a lot of those lineups do things like play full aggro and say soft target Talia, right? That's a really reasonable lineup to bring to an event. And even with more of that, you're just still not guaranteed to play tokens frequently enough to have this kind of strategy pass. Now, where I could see this kind of working is there a world to where there's just like enough mid-rangey decks to where this is strong? And so if you want to say, okay, well, if we have to play against, like, say, Annie Jin, that matchup is not good. Say we have to play against Annie Jin, most of the people bringing Annie Jin are also going to be bringing tokens, right? If you're going to be bringing an aggro lineup, people typically don't do something like bring an aggro deck, a mid-range deck, and a control deck. You typically say, like, bring 3 aggro decks or 2 aggro decks in a mid-rangey kind of deck. It's usually not the full spread. And so there probably is, a pretty significant overlap of people playing Annie Jin and people playing tokens. And then maybe there's a space to kind of take advantage of that. And then if you're able to say, okay, well, the aggro matchups, while not good, do carry our really strong matchup with it. And then otherwise, all the mid-rangey decks are fine. A lot of the control decks, like the Annie decks or the turn 8 decks, are fine. And you could have something like this work out. And so, I don't think going all in on Powder Pandemonium is the way to take down an event, right? I mean, we again didn't play tokens any. We played against Alawi Bard like once and lost, and so it just doesn't feel super strong to me. But that's not to say that there's not a place to kind of fit these in a lineup somewhere, because it does have a lot of really polarized matchups, and so you might find a spot where you can kind of pick on some of the things running around the meta. So I don't have the answers there. I don't have a definitive answer to say, yes, this is good, or yes, this is bad. I think anyone that says they do is a little off tone, just shooting for the stars with hyperbole, if you will, because I think there are pros and cons to doing this kind of thing. I just don't think the cons really outweigh the pros. But nonetheless, fun set of games, and that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope you got your fill of the Pandemonium, maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.